In this specific episode, we're going to cover idea. Exactly what is an idea? Everybody has an idea about something. Ideas are everywhere. We are completely flooded in ideas, and you can throw a rock out a window and find an idea. But we're going to cover what exactly is an idea and how do ideas actually work. The word idea is Greek from ideon, which means to see. So an idea actually means to see something, or to some way see the actual future of the way that things are going to manifest or play out before they actually happen. You have to search relentlessly for the idea that may complete the sculpture or finalize the composition or make everything kind of come together within the gestalt of the entire piece, of the entire design, and using that idea to manifest a completion or to work as an asset. Knowing what specific industry that you're in, as well as knowing the people that you are trying to serve, is actually going to play a big part in knowing what ideas might be relevant toward fulfilling the need, or at least finding something that will satisfy your customers. As you're working as a professional in your industry, it's really important to know where you're headed and where you want to end up. What is your big outcome? What it is that you want to achieve. By knowing this, you will have a keen sense of the direction that you're headed based on the actions that you're currently doing. Either they're bringing you closer toward where you want to be, or they're taking you further away. The idea is to make sure and always take a temperature of where you currently are, so you can make sure that every single thing that you're doing from this point on is in direct alignment that will bring you one step closer toward that bigger picture of what it is that you want. Now, granted, we all have ideas and we all have different ways of obtaining and kind of flowing and following through ideas. So you don't want to let anyone that you know, or any organization or company, family or friends tell you what is and isn't possible. There have been numerous rounds of people that have been told that something is impossible, and simply because they didn't listen and they followed their intuition, they followed their gut, and they followed through completely, they were able to find, by sheer persistence and dedication and hard work, they were actually able to break through these challenges and break through these obstacles. That's why it's so important to make sure you know what it is that you want and give full energy, full focus, and full purpose to making sure that that is going to happen. Sometimes you have to stop and look around and realize that the things that are happening around you are actually contributing toward your bigger vision and your bigger picture. Realizing that the world around you is actually helping you manifest and create and build upon the idea. It's giving you more ideas, and it might be leading you in a certain direction to help you find the idea that you're actually looking for, to help you build and create and totally align with that bigger picture. Always be at the ready. Take inventory, to write down notes, to take a picture, to journal, to record, because the world will always give you little hints and tips and clues. And as these things are happening, you want to make sure that you're actually ready. You want to take time to actually make sure that what it is that you're creating is going to happen, is going to manifest. Now, as you are taking time to do these different things, what you'll learn is that the world will begin to give you clues. It'll begin to take you from one place to another, and it's actually helping you guide along to maybe solidify the idea that you actually have. One sure way to make sure that your ideas are going to be sound is to take your bigger vision, the bigger picture that you have for the project, and the small ideas that you have along the way, and finding a way to really kind of sync them together. So taking your bigger outcome as well as a project that you have at hand and finding a way to tie those together. How can you take the immediate needs of a project that you're currently working on, and how can you tie that into the bigger picture? you actually have the opportunity to use that to really create a standard toward the vision that you're trying to aim for. You can actually leverage and actually have more energy and maybe even become more keen toward new ideas that will help you bring you closer to that standard. And at that point, you can literally align with that. You can align by saying, okay, this is where I am now, and this is the project or idea that I have at hand. But my vision wants to lead me in a bigger direction. You can take this current project and basically fit it into that bigger vision now. And by doing that, what happens is that you actually bring that vision closer simply because you stayed true to it. Every single person actually has a creative ability. Creativity isn't limited to like some creative type. That's not the way it works. Everybody has a creative bone. Everybody has something that they're naturally creative at. Some people are great parents. Some people are great teachers. Some people are writers. Other creatives that are really good at dealing with mechanics and mechanisms. There's creativity involved in car building. There's creativity involved in management. Creativity is it's a channel that's actually used that we can tap into. It's a state of mind that people actually tap into, and everyone can use it. Everybody has access to it. You have it, I have it, everyone that you ever see have it. Even animals have a degree of creativity, which they will come up with ideas and begin to maybe play around. Or at least that's what I believe. I believe that animals do have a sense of creativity. Even if it's creative play, there's still something that they have access to they can actually go ahead and actually use. Now, when trying to come up with ideas don't need to be this huge, godlike, genius-like effort in order to be valuable. An idea can come from anywhere, anytime, from anyone. The ideas that you're looking for are actually already out there. A lot of the ideas that we have discovered and have created, maybe an idea to solve a specific problem that you're trying to meet, is already available. You might not just be able to see it with your current state or at the specific point in time. However, once you practice developing ideas, maybe drawing, maybe sketching in the morning, maybe getting really creative with the way that you're making your dinners, what happens is that you will actually begin to observe more creative ideas that are around you. And you might be overlooking something that was already there, you just totally missed it. But the more that you rely and work on creative muscles and look for creative ideas, what happens is that these ideas will actually begin to jump out at you. They'll become much more obvious, and it might be the idea that you were looking for to solve a specific problem. So the point is that there are tons of ideas that are available to you. You just have to be willing enough in order to observe these ideas and actually allow them to come to you, but at the same time while searching for them. But you want to also keep in mind what it is that you are trying to solve so that you can make sure that the idea, or at least have some kind of inkling that the idea that you find, or that you discover rather, will be relevant toward the problem that you're actually trying to solve. Many ideas that you may discover are actually not original. They could be past or present. What they are, they're actually a combination of existing elements that you actually put together. It's a combination, it's a composition of multiple ideas that you can put together to combine into an actual new idea. So if you're trying to come up with something quote unquote original, you can actually do that by taking one idea or taking two completely different ideas and putting them together. They may be put together equally, like 50-50, or one idea may have more influence than another idea, or there may be a core foundation of one idea that gets implemented into another. It's actually the act of finding an idea and then acting on it with full certainty and full faith that it will work. That's usually the driving factor of any idea, to actually bring that into fruition and actually inspire others that the idea will actually work. Is because in order to believe an idea will work, or in order to get other people to believe an idea will work, is you have to believe it first. The moment that you believe an idea will work, then other people will believe it, and they will believe your vision and will fall in love with the story of your vision and your conviction of that vision. And by having that and by believing that wholeheartedly, other people will believe it too, simply because you know it's possible. Even if you don't know exactly how everything is going to work out, simply because the idea is so practical and you're so certain about that it can be done, even if you don't know how to do it just yet, that's not a problem. It's having the vision and being able to articulate that vision clearly and simply, and yet that passion alone will actually cause other people to see it as well. It's also known as transmutation, when you have one idea and then you talk about it with such passion and such certainty that other people will begin to subconsciously pick up on it, and all of a sudden they can see it too, and that's when it becomes real to them. If it's overcomplicated and people can't imagine it and they can't see themselves in the light, in the frame, so to speak, of that experience, they're probably not gonna buy into it. But as long as you keep it simple and you keep it clear and you are totally convicted and you can tell them what it would look like and what it would sound like and smell like or taste like or feel like, then that's something they can literally pull themselves into, and at that point, you have them hooked. You don't need huge rants or huge rampages of ideation or a huge amount of intelligence to come up with a good idea. All it takes is openness and the willing to execute. And you are totally committed to the outcome and you're dedicated and you execute, then your idea will come into fruition. It will happen. Whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish will happen, but you actually have to allow yourself to receive the idea first, be open to it, explore a few different things, but you don't have to spend days or weeks or months or years exploring a single idea. Once you have something that will bring you closer to it, you can execute on that. And that might bring you a little bit closer, and then you might end up discovering another idea that will bring you even closer. Some ideas will take you from start to finish completely. Other ideas, you might have to use a combination of different ideas in order to take small steps toward that specific outcome. And that's not anything abnormal. That's actually something a lot of people have to do. A lot of people who are really, really creative, they don't have to be super smart. They don't have to be a super genius. And they don't have to have a flood of talent around them, or a flood of imaginative talent around them in order to make an idea happen. But they do have the willingness to actually try something, being willing to fail. And that's also something that's super important to make sure that that's not going to keep you from executing it just because you're afraid that it might not work. One thing that has helped me is to be insatiably curious about the subject matter. I mean, like almost obsessive about an idea or a vision in order to make it happen. And that actually drives me deeper. That drives me deeper into it. Like, you have to think as well as execute. You have to think as well as do, but with an air of like serious play. But you also know that there's a certain degree of seriousness to it as well in order to make sure that it's going to happen as efficiently as it needs to. By being intensely curious about a specific subject matter will actually broaden your understanding of it. By becoming a serious student of the subject matter at hand, you'll understand a lot more about it. And by understanding a lot more about it, you'll actually have more ideas on it. You'll begin to get things from all different kinds of locations simply because your mind begins to kind of take everything that you've learned and then begins to look for evidences in your experiences to support and combine and reconfigure your curiosity about the subject matter into new combinations and literally delivering you new ideas on the subject matter. Thanks for watching. If you like this, definitely go ahead and like, subscribe, share, follow, pass it on, email, anything that you can possibly do. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. And I look forward to speaking to you guys again soon.